On behalf of your host, Steve D, this is Bruce Buffer saying thank you for tuning in to Xtreme Lyfe. And now, this is the moment Xtreme Lyfe fans around the world have been waiting for. It's time!
Welcome to the Xtreme Lyfe Podcast, episode 63. I am here with my friend and CFFC Flyweight champion. I could say that now. Flyweight champion, Phumi Nkuta. First of all, man, congrats on an incredible performance. I mean, I was there. I saw you win the title.
You're there.
I was there, man. You were just so, you were in a zone, man. I don't think you saw anyone.
Nah, man, I was in and out, man. I had tunnel vision, brother.
But man, that whole thing, I mean, I think it's so cool what CFFC is doing, first of all. They found a way to get crowds back in there, which I think is awesome. Of course I jumped on that.
We got to give a quick shout out to CFFC. I mean, and also not only are they getting crowds back in there, but they're giving guys like us opportunities, guys on the regional circuits, guys who might not be in the UFC yet. And they're giving us a platform to perform, do what we love, man. So thank you guys for giving me my opportunity. Yeah,
and I think people forget about that a lot too, right? Because you have the UFC out there, and they're like the big boy on the block, right? They're the one everybody's trying to really kind of get to. A lot of people paying a lot of attention to it. But then you got a ton of other promotions that are out there that are really like the pathway, right? They're the way, everybody's kind of coming up through their amateur career and going into pro, and all these other promotions. The UFC wouldn't have the talent they have in their divisions if it weren't for these other promotions that are out there, which CFFC, Invicta, all of them.
100%, man. I mean, look, everyone's got to start somewhere, right? Everyone has to build their experience. And, luckily for me, everyone was hit during this pandemic. That's first of all.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So opportunity was kind of slim. And unless you were in the UFC, you weren't really fighting, So it was the people like, CFFC, Titan FC, LFA, they kind of stepped up. And look, man, they're getting guys like us signed. They're getting guys like me,
man.
So they're helping us, progress sport forward, man, which is awesome.
Yeah, man. And I was so happy, man, because I was like, I will tell you right off the bat, man. I think the last time you and I talked, you were about to fight Ben Coyle. Yeah. And you made a prediction. You said, I'm going to kick your ass. And you did, right? So so that was great. And then, then fighting for the title, and then taking the title. I mean, I think you haven't, and I don't want to jinx anybody, but right now you're undefeated.
I am.
And I want to help, I hope you stay that way, but, it's just a matter of, I think you're just training right. I think you're taking good care of yourself. I mean, what's the secret, man? What makes you, cause you're just a machine in there, man.
Man, it's just hard work and dedication. At the end of the day, the camp that we put in going into this fight was the hardest training camp of my life. But then again, it was only hard because hard work gets you to where you want to be, right? If you're not working hard, then you can't say you want to win a UFC championship or you want to win a CFFC world title. It would almost make no sense. So for me, I knew I was 2-0 coming into this fight, and I had to make a statement. I had to let everybody know that, look, I might be 2-0, but I am the guy. At 125 pounds, I am the best guy in the world right now, unsigned to the UFC. So I had to work like that. I had to work as hard as I possibly can to prove that in that ring. And, the main goal is really to just push a pace over 4 rounds that I know nobody can keep. At the end of the day, my name's Turbo for a reason, man. And that's because I can go all damn day. So sometimes that means during camp, we got to push hard. That means sometimes when I'm sore, I got to still work out. Sometimes you don't want to have little nagging injuries. We got to keep pushing forward and figure out how we're going to maneuver around these ways. But at the same time, you got to take care of your body too, right? So it's a balancing act right now. But at the end of the day, I think we're figuring it out pretty well, you know?
Oh yeah, man, you're doing phenomenal. And I can't agree with you more. I mean, the pace you push, you know, and I think that's a great style to have, is if you can keep that pace throughout an entire, you know, fight, which is not an easy thing to do, right? I mean, people don't realize the ability, the amount of endurance that takes. I mean, you know, just to keep on that, you know, I call it getting on your bike for that period, that amount of time, right? You're getting on your bike and you're just pushing the pace. And I think, you know, part of that strategy is to hope that the other guy can't keep that pace with you. You know, sooner or later, they're gonna fall out.
I gotta say, look, shout out to Alberto Trujillo, man, because he was still fighting even from the moment he started in the first round to the fourth round, man. I remember I had his back in the fourth, and I'm trying to get the choke in. I already have the body triangle in, and he's saying, like, I'm not gonna let you choke me out. I'm not gonna let you get it.
Was he talking to you in there?
Yeah, he was talking to me in there, but before I have his back, I'm about to get the choking, but he was tough, man, you know. So quick shout out to that guy. But yeah, it's all about pace, brother. It's all about pace. If you can't keep up with me, there's no way you're gonna beat me in a fight. And I'm telling you right now, nobody in the world can keep up with me.
All right, man. That's awesome. And I, you know, like I said, that's great that he was talking to you too. I can imagine being in there and he's like, "You ain't gonna choke me out. Get the hell out."
Yeah, I'm like, I almost kind of started laughing. I'm like, this little mother tough. Like, he won't break.
Well, I mean, you know, and the thing, you know, you come from Team Serra Longo, which is, you know, a phenomenal team. You know, I mean, I mean, you know, you can't beat the names that come out of that gym and train with those guys over there. And, you know, it's just phenomenal to see, you know, how they could take talent, which, you know, you came to them with a lot of talent already probably, but they took that raw talent and cultivated it. And what does that look like? I mean, how do they help you do that? How do they help you grow? I mean, what's the secret over there, man? If you can give the secret up. Secret sauce, man. It's the secret sauce.
You know what it is? I don't even really think there is a secret sauce. We're just all normal guys who are, you know, I believe really intelligent and who just want to progress. And we love martial arts as it is, right? Like, you know, I think for everyone on that team, for a lot of guys on this team, whether it be me or, you know, even Ray, who's one of our head coach, we would all kind of be here even if we weren't getting paid for it, you know? Whether we were winning world titles or not, man, we just kind of love martial arts. So for us, we just try and get better intelligently in the sport of martial arts. And then also because we compete, you know, badasses as well. That means we have to put in the work in too. So, yeah, man, we're just a couple humble East Coast guys just working hard day in, day out, man. That's hard. There's no secret to success, man. All it takes constant hard work.
Well, and that's where that saying comes. A guy named Matt Frazier often says hard work pays off. And that's pretty much what it comes down to. If you can outwork the other person, you're going to have a good chance at beating them. You know, I mean, even if you have, you know, hard work overall beats natural talent if you work hard enough. If you work hard enough.
Imagine if you got both natural talent and you work hard.
Well, I think that's where you got. I think that's your secret sauce, man. I think you got both. I think you have it because I mean you're, you know. And I was even looking at your, you know, I had to refresh myself as I always do before, you know, even though you and I have spoken before, and you know. But you know, it's like I always refresh myself. I go back, and your amateur record is pretty impressive as well. I mean, undefeated as an amateur, undefeated as a pro, 3-0. I mean, and that's true. You know, that's true. You know, championship caliber stuff there, man. I mean,
look, man, at the end of the day, I could look at where I want to be and say, all right, I want to fight in the UFC, and I could say that's my goal. But that's not my goal, right? I could say, oh, I want to be a UFC champion. That's my goal. Like, for me, no, my goal is to be the greatest of all time. Like, it would be nice, to make it into the UFC, but that's not where I want to end it. You know, it'd be nice to win a world title in the UFC, but that's not where I want to end that either, right? I'm shooting for the top. And you see that in my record as an amateur, 5-0, two titles in different promotions. And then even as a pro, in my third professional fight, Steve D, we were able to go 4 rounds and win a world title.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going for, you know, I don't need to be brought up. You know, I'm here to take over the game, man. I'm here to be the greatest of all time. And I think my past proves it, my present proves it, and I'm going to show you guys in the future.
Well, you have the motivation, man, and you certainly have the, you know, you have the ability. One of the questions I like to ask people: what do you like the standing game better, or would you rather go to the ground? Or does it even matter to you?
I love it all, man. I love the game. I just love the game, man. Whether it be wrestling and, you know, that hard-nosed grind that goes with it, whether it be jiu-jitsu and how cerebral you have to be with it, or the striking, where you kind of has to be a combination of both. Sometimes you got to be hard, but other times you got to be intelligent too, man. And just the way they all mix together. This is why when people ask me, oh, do you want to win by knockout? Do you want to win by submission? Yeah. I don't care. I just want to win. And I just love the flow of mixed martial arts. And I'm going to win whichever way I want to, you know? so I end up loving everything in the game, man. I just love the sport as a whole.
And I think that's the key to MMA. And you could correct me if I'm wrong, because you're the fighter. But the fact of the matter is, I think, you know, in today's day and age, you can't just be a one-trick pony. You have to come out there. You have to be able to strike. You have to be able to bang it out, and you have to be able to go to the ground and be able to, and you have to be able to throw and take people down. You have to be able to do almost everything, which is, you know, not the, you know, if you go back and watch early MMA fights, they weren't that. You know, they were, you know, they were great fights and they were fun as hell to watch. But, you know, the level that you see people getting to now is just incredible. Even in like amateur fights. Yeah. You know, there's people that are out there that are like, wow. I'm like, for an amateur, that person would probably have kicked the crap out of some of the older pros back in the day.
No, that's how it is, man. The sport's evolving so much, man. And you think this sport is, you know, it was 1993 the UFC first started. So, yeah, we're really coming on about 30 years now, man. This sport is very young. It's very young. And you see now, you know, guys used to just be able to wrestle. Now you have wrestlers who are getting knockouts. You know what I'm saying? And then you had guys who are striking who are now wrestling. Man, the game is just so different.
It's all over the place, man. And
dude,
you know.
Even if you are a one-trick pony like Khabib, right, and you're a grappler, you got to be so damn good at that one thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tough game for everybody, man. Everyone's got to play catch up in different areas. And that's why the sport's evolving so fast.
Well, that's what's interesting. Like when you watch Khabib and Conor, right? And they're two completely different styles. And Conor, you know, I'm actually surprised Conor really has never worked on his ground game as much as he probably should have. I mean, that's one of my, like, every time I see him fight, I'm like, why do you not work on this? You know, it's a weak point. Maybe he does. I don't know. But it just, like I said, it seems like that's the point. If he stays on his feet, he's probably going to win the fight. If he goes to the ground, it could go, you know, he's got to get back up. You know?
Yeah.
So
I will say the big difference between those two is with Conor, you always hear of the work ethic issue. Mm-hmm. Oh, Conor was unfocused in this fight. That's why he lost. Oh, Conor's back now and he's focused. You never really hear that with Khabib.
No.
You know? And then, like,
Khabib has never lost. So
that's
he's like you.
Come on. I mean, we got something in common now. We're undefeated.
There you go. Hey, you know what? You keep this streak going, man. Who knows down the line? You know, I mean, this is that you're doing phenomenal. And you know, I see you, getting to the UFC at some point in the near future. I mean, I certainly see that. I know that's a goal. And you said that's not the goal, but that is a goal because you got to get there to make the rest of that stuff happen, right? So.
100%. Look, man, there's nothing wrong with milestones, along the way, but you can't set yourself short, man. You can't set the bar low. Otherwise, you'll be low. You got to set the bar high, man. And, you put in the work, you keep believing, you'll rise to the occasion. I truly believe that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you have to have that, that long-term overall, like you said, I want to be the greatest of all time. And, hey, that's a huge, huge goal, man. I mean, but you have all these other goals on the way, these other milestones, these other things you have to hit before you get there. And, you know, you just keep knocking them off, man, like a checklist. You keep checking them off, you know, which I think is you know, like I said, you're on your way, man. You're definitely on your way. You know, and, you know, one question that I have is what separates you from other fighters? What do you think makes the difference? Because there is a difference. I mean, you could tell like incredible talent when it gets in the cage. You know, what makes you the fighter you are today?
You know what, man? I guess my dedication and belief ever since I was young. You know, I started training, man, when I was 12 years old. And as soon as I watched the sport on TV, I started training, right? So I found the sport on TV and, you know, next thing you know, I'm in my basement trying to drill how to pass somebody's car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was me at 12 years old, you know, just in my basement, trying to learn as a kid on my own, trying to just figure out this sport on my own. Fast forward a couple years, now I'm taking jiu-jitsu as a teenager. I'm joining the wrestling team. I'm doing kickboxing. So now, not only am I watching the sport, but I'm actually learning from some high-level people in the sport as well. Proper, you know, technique, how to do it the right way. And then fast forward even further, I end up finding Longo, you know, and in my opinion, the best team in the world. They got the best jiu-jitsu guys. They got the best striking coach in the world. So at the end of the day, man, it was really just dedication, hard work, belief, and just always trying to get just a little better every day. You know, whether it be watching, whether it be studying, you know, I save Instagram videos on my phone and I always go back and study. When I have downtime, I study. That's something I've been doing ever since I was 12 years old. Mm-hmm. You know, just constant time, constant improvement over the course of, at this point, man, 13 years. I think that's the thing that's going to separate me from all the other guys, is that I started so young and I didn't try and just put myself in the fire. I tried to take care of my body even when I was young. I tried to intelligently do this the right way. I tried to learn as much technique as I can to be the best, right? Because anybody can get in there and fight. Anybody can get in there and swing their fist and get into a brawl, but that's not what I want to do. Like I said, I want to be the greatest of all time. And in order to do that, you got to be the smartest of all time, right? So
yeah.
I think constant improvement over the course of 13 years and honestly, my intelligence on the game is what separates me from everybody else. Well, also, hard work.
Yeah, No. That's extremely important. And you know, I think you got it absolutely right. It's not about, you know, all the physical stuff. It's the mind game, because you win fights in your head. You don't win fights through physical brute strength. We've seen that, right? You could be the strongest, toughest guy out there, but you come in the cage with somebody who's just smarter and has a better plan and comes in and has trained better, has trained smarter. Doesn't drive their body into the ground every time they train and lets their body recover. You know, there's that balance between working hard and working too hard, right? Yeah. And overdoing it.
I mean, and look too, man, sometimes, I mean, I think everyone's different too, but I don't know. For me, I just think technique is so important in the sport, right? Like, because if you don't have the technique, man, there's going to be situations where you might not know how to escape or you might not know how to move forward. And if you're there, shoot, you can have the cardio, you can have heart, you can have strength, but somebody's better than you, man. Somebody's better than you, and they know more than you, right? So it's important to have that technique aspect.
It's a chess game. You know, you the greatest fighters of all time, I think, in my opinion, and like I said, you know more than I do, but the greatest fighters of all time, in my opinion, are able to get their opponent to move where they want them to move, to put them in checkmate. So to speak, you know,
100%, man. You like, look, even boxing in general, man. You look at who are the two greatest boxers of all time: Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson,
and Jake Paul.
Podcast.
What's that?
I can't believe you said that guy's name during this podcast.
Oh man, I know. I'm sorry, man. I got to screw around. You know, that's just how I am. But you know, I absolutely don't believe that at all.
I'm like, you know, getting that guy to checkmate. Mike Tyson kind of did it through, you know, brute strength and a little bit of technique too. But he kind of forced you there. Whereas Muhammad Ali, kind of, he used finesse and guided you there. So yeah, it is human chess, man. You just got to be able to play to your advantage and, play your pieces.
Yeah, and know what you can do, right? Know your strengths, know your weaknesses, know what to stay away from, and know your opponent. I think that's really important. I mean, when you're training for a fight, are you watching? I'm sure you are, but I just figured I'd ask: are you watching tapes on the other guy? Are you really? I mean, I guess
I watched a little bit of tape, enough to gather maybe some tendencies. I let my coaches really watch most of the tape, but I watch some myself because I don't like to get married to what my opponents do, right? And even if I do watch them, that's not the case. But I just don't really tend to watch unless I want to learn something from them, right? A guy like Khabib, a guy like, GSP, I want to watch a lot of them because I'm trying to learn from them. Yeah. I'm just trying to pick up some tendencies. Once I get those tendencies, man, then we just start working towards camp. And then we start working on what I want to do. At the end of the day, man, it's not about, what your opponent does. If you're worried about what your opponent does, you won't be able to get your own game plan out. You won't be able to do what you want to do in that octagon. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool to watch a little bit of tape, a little bit of whatever. But at the end of the day, man, you got to do what you got to do in that octagon. You got to employ your game plan out there.
So I think what I'm hearing here is mostly just trust you. Your coaches are going to kind of guide you. They're going to watch that tape. They're going to tell you what your opponent's pretty much how it's going to go. Yeah. And they're going to guide you.
And we usually watch it together too. So there's a little bit of give and take. I'll tell them they'll notice something. I notice something. We'll agree on it and stuff like that. But I'm not going to sit there and watch hours and hours.
Yeah.
Tape on my guy. And once I've seen all of his fights, or maybe like the last couple of his fights, maybe twice each, or, that's it.
Yeah.
You pick tendencies, man. And then you say, all right, I'm going to employ my game plan. And then at the end of the day, it's about, all right, how are you going to shut him down? How are you going to do what you do in that octagon? You got to,
yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. And like I said, that's kind of, when you watch a fight or watch a tape, you're like, okay, you could pick up some of the things that maybe they're doing, right? If they get clipped in a certain way, you get hit with a leg kick. Like I just saw a friend of mine fight, and she was doing it. She was nailing this other competitor's leg and just kept nailing it. Well, what you started to see was the other hand start to drop, and then it's like opens you up for a headshot, right? So you could pick some of that stuff up. Like you see where the tendencies are. If you could drive someone to drop that hand, and then you could throw something else and end the fight early. There's ways.
That's why tape's important, man. Tape is very important, but at the end of the day, you can't be one of those guys who's worried about what the other guy's going to do, because otherwise you won't be able to do your own game plan, right? You won't be able to land your strikes, your own techniques. If a guy's got a good overhand right, and all I'm thinking about and all I'm watching is that guy's overhand right, and when I get in that octagon, I'm going to be nervous Nelly about that kind of thing.
Yeah. Like yourself out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Yeah. No, I get it. And so what would be your dream fight? Who do you see? Let's say if you could fight anybody in the world today, let's say not today, but let's say, you could get that contract to fight anyone. Let's say 3-4 months from now, who would it be?
Man, it's a tie, but I got one. Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, man. Okay. I would love to step in there, man, and rap with that guy. He's so good, and at the end of the day, man, I'm a competitor, right? So when I see someone else is good and we're around the same weight class, it's almost like, man, I just want to test myself. I want to know if I'm there. I believe I'm there, right? So I would love to step in there with Mighty Mouse to see who's the best in the world, to see who's better. And last but certainly not least, I guess Davidson Figueiredo.
Okay.
We'll put him there too. I would like to compete against that guy.
He's on a roll right now, man.
He's on a roll. But you know what it is, though?
Yes.
There's times where he'll miss weight. There's times where he'll grab the cage. There's times where he hits people below the belt. And these are things that he does regularly as a competitor. Things that I'm not necessarily a fan of. But yet again, he's flaunting around with the championship belt. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. So you even look at his fight with Brandon Moreno. He starts, I think it was the third round, I believe. Tide starts turning a little bit. He starts getting a little bit tired. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, he hits Brandon Moreno below the belt, and we're waiting about a minute and a half.
So and he gets a break. Yeah. Yep.
Little things like that he constantly does. Alex Perez, he grabbed the cage when he almost got the takedown, and he had the single leg. And then that led to David Figueiredo getting his own finish. Obviously, Joseph Benavidez, the guy misses weight and then concusses him, right? So, I don't know. At the end of the day, is he a champion? Yeah. Do I think he's the best 125-pounder in the world? No. And I honestly believe I'm better than him. I would love to compete against that guy right now if they gave me the contract.
That would be awesome. I would definitely be watching that one, man. I would definitely be all over that fight because, I mean, like I said, your gas tank is just there, man. You have the gas tank. You can go. I believe you can go. I'm guessing you can probably do 5-minute rounds if you need. Bro,
I can 5-5s right now, and that's the scary thing.
You're a scary man, dude. You're a scary man. So, where are you at now? Are you out in Vegas?
Dude, we're in sunny Vegas right now, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know you said, "Oh, I'm out," and I was like, "Oh, I expected you to have the same time," and you were like, "No, man, it's like 4:00 for me."
Yeah, I was like 7 for you, 4 for me, my man.
Yeah.
Come on, it's beautiful out here, man.
Oh, dude, come on. You can't do that to me right now.
Sky Funk keeps a good home, you know? Keeps a good home.
Oh, man. So where are you training at? You're training at the UFC?
Yeah. So we're getting Rob ready for his fight next week, May 1st. He's fighting Cody Stamen. Big fight, obviously, for the bantamweight division. So we've been training here at the house. Aldo's got mats in his garage, so it makes it easy. If we ever need to do any training, we can just hop right there.
Yeah.
Syndicate MMA as well. Working with John Wood and a lot of those guys there. And then, whenever we need to work at the PI, we've been using the PI as well. So we got a lot of places to train out in Vegas.
That's cool, man. Yeah, there's a lot of people moving out there, man. You running any other fighters out there? A lot of people seem to be moving out to Vegas.
Yeah. A lot of people. I mean, it's also nice here, man. Like you're saying, sun is shining. I think right now on the East Coast, it's like, 40 degrees or something?
It's about 50 and windy as hell right now. I don't know where the wind came from, but yeah, it's a little breeze going. And
I mean, Steve D, I was in the pool earlier. I mean, come on.
Well, I'm starting to get a resentment here, man. You can't do that to me.
No, I'm coming back.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, we got to catch up when you come back. Because I'm going to get down there. I haven't been over at Law MMA in a while, but I got to get over there. And
of course.
Come and hang out. Do some training. My striking needs some work, man.
We got to call Jenny.
Yeah, I got to give her a call one of these days. I haven't talked to her in a little bit, but yeah, awesome, man. Well, it sounds like, you got a lot of really cool stuff coming your way. Any fights coming right now, or no? You're kind of just in a holding pattern at the moment?
Yeah, I'm just trying to, maintain and, progress as a fighter, but at the same time, take care of my body. Not push it too hard until, we get the call, but be in fight shape, be ready for whatever. So,
okay.
We'll probably, defend the CFFC belt maybe in July. We'll see. But until then, Dana White.
Well, hey,
I'm ready for 15, so let's go.
Well, I'm a huge fan, my friend, and if I would certainly love to see you fighting in the UFC. I hope Dana does give you a call, and I think it's just a matter of time, man. I honestly just think it's a matter of time before you don't get a record like that and do what you're doing right now, and you have a great attitude. I think it's all gonna be to your benefit and going forward. So.
Yeah, and look, man, I think it's one of those things where I think before this fight, when I was asking for, the CFFC title, right, people were like, oh, man, he might not deserve it, or, he's only 2-0. Why is he even getting a shot at the belt? But at the end of the day now, man, I just proved I'm one of the best in the world,
Hey,
so for me, it's like if I say I can win the CFFC belt and I just went 4 rounds and I just essentially got 10-8s on all 4 of those rounds.
Yep. Oh, you definitely won that fight.
Definitely won that fight. Definitely got multiple knockdowns. Definitely got multiple takedowns. And I did that in my 3rd professional fight.
Yep.
I mean, why say I can't do that in the UFC too?
I think you could. I think you absolutely could, and I think you could be a great force in that world, man. And you know, I mean, here's the thing: people are saying, "Oh, he's 2-0 and he's going to get a championship fight." Well, you know what? The proof's in the pudding, man. Look who's holding the belt.
Look who's holding the belt.
That's it. You know, 3-0, holding the belt. You know, and I think this is going to be a long and great career, and I think you're going to end up where you want to be at some point, man. So wherever that is. So like I said, I'm a huge fan. I'm right there in your corner, man. To see you go out there and succeed and continue to do well, man. God bless and be well. And thanks for coming on. And I gotta get a picture of you with the belt signed on my wall here, my friend. We got to get that going. You got to get up there next to Ken Shamrock and next to Mike Tyson's ring bell and
man.
Gotta get you up.
That's some fancy stuff you got back there.
Oh man, yeah. Well, I try to decorate my studio with the things that inspire me, right? So I think that's a big, important piece of motivation, right? So I'm gonna when you come back, I'm gonna bring a picture down to Law MMA. You're gonna sign that for me, all right?
Let's do it, brother. Let's do it. We'll take a picture of the belt.
All right, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'll let you get back to training, my friend. Always a pleasure having you on. I love having you on, and we're going to keep this streak going, my friend. Good luck and be well.
All right, brother.
Say hi to everybody out there for me.
We'll do. Gotta get you back to the gym, Steve D. Let's go.
Be good, my friend.
All right, brother.